everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. I decided to come on today because I was sitting around working and then it was like lunchtime and I went to check my mailbox because I have to walk down half a block to get it. And I had a nice surprise. My box from Stackry arrived. Now, that happens a lot. In fact, it happens quite frequently. In this case, though, inside the box is one of the ones that I had put on my 2025 I really want to get book list. Now, I've already gotten one so far this year. I managed to get Ghost Rider 2, which was the very first full appearance I guess you could call it, first appearance, of Son of Satan. I had to think for a second there. Other than that, and I have a couple of other books in there that I also would like to see. So I decided to just join. I decided to do this so that I could. I really wanted to open this. I didn't want to wait any longer, and I wanted to have the books to possibly show when it was time on Alan's show on Friday. So therefore, I am taking the time tonight. It'll be about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, and we're going to open this and play. Before we completely get going, Robbie Joseph's here. You're going to be the first person to see the video I made to say thank you for your $20 contribution tonight. Give me some money. Give me some money. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm just trying something out. I have seen what other people have done, so I've decided to try something. So before we get much further, let's say hello. As always, we bring out the board of the members. AG, Big Nasty, Chonko, Comic Collector Geek, Son of Crom, Cliff on Comics, Ryan Riley, Robbie Josephs, Rad Art and Comics, Ben Compton, Figure Drawing, and Comic Mike. And we will take the time now to say hello to everybody who's been cool enough to join me tonight. We've got Robbie Josephs. And as I said, thank you very much. So I tried my new video. I hope that's not wrong. Celia's here tonight. Hi, Celia. We've got Comic Mike. Hi. And we have, let's see here. We've got Steven. Steven's in tonight. Hi, Steven. Check your email. Big Nasty. Hi, Rich. Hi, Lyle. Good to see you. Let's see. We've got, hi, Susie. It's good to see you here. And I think, oh, no, we've got Thomas Caps. Hi, Thomas Caps. I don't think I've seen your name in the in there before. Welcome to the show. Okay. Now, since I've got really not, other than, okay, I am going to be doing a giveaway at 740 subscribers. We've got a little bit to go yet for that. And I forgot to mention on my live chat last night that my next guest coming up on Tuesday will be Chonko Nerd Culture, Comics and Nerd Culture. Yes, the guy with the song that doesn't go away. He's another reason why I've been inspired to open this on camera, because if it's bad, maybe, you can have Matt tears to go with Chonko tears. So, pulled out my trusty little knife, and let's give it a look here. I used to do modeling, but then my body got fat. Oh, wait, before we get going, we have a guest. Please give a warm Matt Likes Comics welcome to Mr. Steven Gedner.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Steven. How are you doing?
I'm doing, couldn't be happier if I was twins.
That's true. Steve, for those that don't know, Steven got himself a nice big Lifetime Achievement Award this week. And I'm very, very pleased to have been there when he showed it off on the first time on Alan's. No, Lyle, this is not an A-OK. um, Stephen got a once in a lifetime kind of book, and it was amazing to see.
Thank
Has
you.
it found a nice home?
Absolutely. It's found a very nice home. It's sitting with its brethren, very contentedly. And No, it was a lot of fun. I'm actually still a little bit tired from the whole thing.
Yeah, you
It
guys were
went
up
so.
pretty late, eh?
Oh man, it was late and it was intense. It was really intense. So I made a trade deal. If anybody watching hasn't if you watch our last Friday's hangout, I showed all the books. I don't have Action Comics #1. I don't aspire to Action Comics #1. I
Which I knew. So
Yeah, I know you
yeah,
know me pretty well. I know that I don't mind Superman. I think Superman's a great character. I do tend to go back more towards the Batman,
yeah,
and
and I know that Flash is your 100, your number one. So
and the Silver Age Flash is my number 1. The Golden Age Flash is really good, but in Flash comics, it's Hawkman that I really like the most because of Shelley Moldoff.
yeah,
And
Moldoff
so
is one of the best.
I found out in doing if you go on my Collecto 6 on Instagram, hello there, Big Lyle. Stay out of tents. Okay, I
I
sure
could
will.
be there.
I don't really stay in tents, but that's okay. I'm not in. Maybe I'm intense. That's right. Okay, I've got you. That is. Excuse me, Matthew. Is that Kamloops humor? Was that Kamloops humor?
That was very Kamloops here. He's a mountain
Kamloops
man. Eh?
humor. Oh.
He's a mountains man, eh? So
He actually is on a mountain.
I
That's
know,
a true thing. But
and that
anyway,
is a deep joke.
if you look at our Friday hangout, I show all the books that I traded, and the book I got was a Detective Comics 31, which is a very big book, and it's the quintessential Batman cover. And It is residing with my other grails at the bank right now. I'll have to go and bring it out. But it's I that they live in the bank. The big books, the really big books,
Yeah.
live in the bank. The rank and file live here with rank and file.
Hmm.
It sounds like a comedy group, but
No, that's smart because that's fireproof and it's
yeah,
very secure. So
yeah.
the one thing I remember from the days that when I worked at a law firm was we had to make sure that all the wills were in fireproof vaults, and that's a requirement in Ontario. So
I think that makes perfect sense.
yeah, well,
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Robbie.
because we kept the originals, eh? Like
Oh
we
yes,
would give people copies, and so we wanted to make sure the originals didn't get wrecked.
that's it. That makes perfect sense, and I think
Yeah.
it should be a rule on that kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Um, so did you? I understand that the Stackry man appeared.
Yes, I got this nice little package in the mail today. The reason I'm doing it live is because inside is one of the top 10 books that I wanted for 2025.
Oh,
As I
okay.
was explaining just before you got here, I've got one already thanks to Mark in England. I
Mm,
was able to get a copy of Ghost Rider 2,
mm-hmm.
which had the first full appearance of Son of Satan,
Son of
and
Satan.
I
Yeah.
got another one that was on my list in this box today.
Cool.
So I
That's too.
was
How big is your list? How big is your list for 25?
it's a top 10. It was a top 10 that we talked about. I think Alan and I had talked about it, and we made a video challenge where we talked about what we wanted for the year and such.
I'm surprised that Alan's top 10 is probably closer to 70.
Oh,
From
I'm sure.
all the different genres, that he's got a lot of fingers and toes in the marketplace. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's cool. Oh, so far it looks like it's been packaged pretty well. There's no chocolatiers here.
Thank God.
Yeah. Well, there was a note with one of them. I have no problems reading the note. Um, says here, thanks for buying this book. I have two. By the way, there were 4 packages in this trip. There
Mhm.
were 2 from, and there were 2 from eBay. So,
Very good. eBay.
oh, Lyle got his package he was waiting for from Mark today.
Oh, good.
Hi,
Hi,
Thomas.
Thomas.
So, here's the one here's the note here. Thanks for buying this book. I also sell comics in bulk. Lots too expensive to ship. I'm getting low on inventory from a shop I owned in Nashua in the late 80s. I still have a good amount of DC, Superman, Batman, World's Finest, Superboy, LSH, JLA. Let me know if interested, and then there's a phone number. I live 1 hour away from you.
That
If not,
is so cool.
If not, no problem. I'll be listing the rest of my Superman Golden Age on eBay.
Sounds to me
It's
like
signed
it's time for you
Larry.
to. Sounds like you need to take a little vacation. Fire up the car, put in a
Yeah,
tank of gas, take a little trip down the mighty Mississippi, check her out, and then
I don't think.
take the folding green with you and come back and dazzle us.
mm, That
That
would
sounds
be
like
a,
Alan.
yes, that is true. So here is package number 1. I'm going to open it up here, and
Oh my God, an
they've done the
X-Acto knife.
taping thing. The only thing I always worry about is with this knife that I end up accidentally slipping, because I've done that once or twice
I don't
in my
want you to.
modeling days.
Well, I did that too. I almost severed 2 fingers. I was working
Yeah,
on a slot car.
it is. And by modeling people, I mean planes and stuff, because I don't hang out with the other type. Okay, this one will be last because it's the book I'm waiting for.
Okay.
So this one I will show. With the movie coming up, a particular character from the Superman mythos is being introduced. Now, he was in, this character happened to have been, sorry, for some reason the bubble wrap got under my chair. There we go. This character was in the Man of Steel movie for 2013, so it won't be his first movie appearance. But he's going to play a bigger role, apparently. So his first appearance has been really starting to heat up a bit. This
The
is the
son
first.
of the son of Lois and Superman?
No, it's the sportscaster from the 1970s, Steve Lombard, and this is his first appearance.
Okay, Steve Lombard.
Yeah,
Sort of strange sports story sort of thing going on there, isn't
yeah,
it? From
yes.
Brave and
Well,
Bold.
I didn't own it, but I've read the story before in a reprint, and something to do with his old like he played professionally for the Metropolis professional team. So and apparently his stuff somehow gets taken up. As you can see, it's hitting Superman without actually a person inside it.
Like you
And
do.
but the Steve Lombard character is one of those blowhard sportscasters. He's a lot like Ron Burgundy. For those that
Oh
have seen the
yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
he literally. It wouldn't surprise me if I found out Ron Burgundy. Well, probably the same sources that they got all that stuff from. All right, so this is the first. Oh, why is that not working today? There we go. There we go. The first one from my comic shop. This one I actually took some time to put together, and I think there may or may not be a Nate inspired book in here. Nate Hagen, as I call them.
Nate Hagen.
I was able to watch their broadcast without buying anything new.
I admire you. I admire you because it's a siren call.
Awesome.
You saw my big reveal was Canoe Head. You saw that.
Yes, that's right.
I
By the way, did you see that? Did you watch that video I sent? That the actual guy who's
haven't watched it yet. I saw that, but the actual Canoe Head guy,
yeah,
he sounded like he was angry about something. Looked
that's
like.
his shtick. That's his shtick.
Okay.
This is his fake. This is his fake. I'm outraged broadcast.
Okay.
Okay, so what I got in this particular package, they'd actually knocked down some of the prices for Superman books
Mm-hmm.
the night. I think it was a Superman Day thing. So I picked up some books that I was missing. You mind if I go big?
Please go ahead.
Okay. This is Superman Batman number 7. This is one that I very happy to get my hands on. This is Superman Batman annual. Oh, sorry, Superman Batman number 1. I was missing it, so I was happy to get my hands on this because who doesn't love number 1 issues?
Not me.
And rounding out for the first 20 issues of the series, so that I've completed now, is number 6, which has a really cool Lex Luthor cover. In this one, this is where President Luthor finally has to resign based on his illegal activities. And so I was very happy to get that one too. And the next up are 3 more Golden Age that give, not Golden Age, Bronze Age, that give me continue my run to get the completion of the Superman. I've got issue 262, which is a pretty cool looking cover. Superman is ripping a building apart. I don't think they would have this cover in today, but especially with what the building looked like. But it's a pretty good looking one there. Next up, Superman 263, and somebody showed this not too long ago. I think Comic Mike showed this on our Superman broadcast show, and I remember telling him I have this one coming. This is the one where he looks like half Johnny Storm. So this is a pretty cool one that I'm looking forward to reading it. That was you, Comic Mike? Next up, the last one from this batch is Superman 267. And here it is. And it's got what looks like, I know they're not, but it looks like dancing pterodactyl creatures. Plus a kid, trying to wake up Superman. So I think it's a great one.
Nice.
Next in the package, we've got my last, this is a minor one. This is only a couple books from this one. I was afraid people were going to take it out of my cart, so I rushed it. Okay. Yes. These ones were definitely Nate inspired. We were sitting there watching one of their shows, and I believe it was Adam that was on the show. And this next book he had, so I ended up really, really wanting this, and I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, and gentle beings, I present to you Space 342434. Another ridiculous 1980s book, similar to Nightcat, but it's a thick one. Like it's at least a double issue. So Adam, if you see this, know that you inspired me. And this is a one that this next one is the first issue that I have from this series. I have never really been into it before. Hi, Lau. Hi, TM. I had never had.
They let everybody in here. Go ahead.
Okay, before we get going, we have a new member to the show. Thank you very much, TM Nerdy. You get to have the song. So we're good. I put this clip together, Stephen, this week. I hope it comes.
Give me some money.
Nothing like a good there's nothing like a good clip from Spinal Tap to make a day every day very well. Thanks, TM. You're going to make the list very shortly. So, as I was talking before, the book that I got was Power Man and Iron Fist 121. There's something really ridiculous in this book that they showed, and now I can't remember. But at the time, I was laughing so hard I had to order it. It was an internal fight of some sort, and some inappropriate comment was made. It was just so funny that I had to go out and get it. Before I get into my last one, I would like to invite my friend Steven to show a couple books if he's got some.
Well, I actually have a few. I think so.
Awesome. You, sir, get the floor. Wow, we have another member. Collecto 6. Well, we got to play the song again.
Give me some money. Give me some money.
You gotta get you have to get from Second City TV or whatever,
yeah,
where they have the hair bands or something. Have a Canadian hair band or something.
Well, it's a case of hi Callie, welcome to the show. It's a case of I decided to try it because I've never done this before, and I know that Bleak has a whole bunch of little clips he uses, so I was trying something out.
That's fine.
That's good. Now that I know what I'm doing, I can have more clips.
Fair enough. I have here is the most recent Adam Hughes hot ticket book, and it's from Boom Comics. It was a kind of a limited run, and it's for what it is, it's kind of an expensive book, but it's a very lovely Adam Hughes cover.
His first appearance, he has a cameo in Casino. He has a cameo in Ghost Rider 1, so that's why he's in like one or two panels at the end of the book, and then in number 2, he has 2 full pages.
Ghost Rider number 2.
Yes, that's why
I don't want to sound like Alan, but I have it somewhere in here. I also have I have Ghost Rider 1, and I can't find it. It's I don't know. Sometimes I may even just be looking at it, but I've tried to find. I misplaced my House of Secrets 92, and it took me 2.5, 3 weeks to find where I put it. I don't know. You put a book away somewhere where you figure you can't forget it, and you're wrong. The logic that you use, it's failed me too many times. Here is a Supergirl cover that I think is very, very cute.
It is very gorgeous.
And this is I don't know who this is and I got to put my cheaters on because, by the way, do you know how tiny the print is on these things? Alexander Lozano.
Just a second. Casino, everything says it's just a cameo, but it's not. It is now considered to be his first full appearance because, as I said, he's actually on two and a bit pages in that issue. And Ghost Rider 1 is a true cameo. And his third and first real full book appearance is Marvel Premiere 12. So
I've got the Son of Satan stuff was, I won't say it was dollar bin stuff, but it was in years and years and years. And it's not a bad character.
No.
This is Lozano, is this one, Alexander Lozano. And there was when I bought this one, there was a guy that was auctioning off guaranteed 9/8 of these. And I think I got one for, $75 or $80 or something like that. Oh, he has that. We've been around Alan too long.
Alan is actually at the point now where he jokes about how there's drinking contests with regards to this.
You see how he's affecting younger people, how he's driving people to drink. I'm concerned about the man. I really am. I mean he drives people to drink. I mean, and he enjoys it too. It's oh my God. Here is the Panosian cover of Catwoman, and I just thought it was just a beautiful looking cover.
It is. Is this one based on the Halle Berry version? Because it's
Well, it looks like Halle Berry. I mean, it looks like the high and tight hat, and also other areas which appear to be present. That's a guilty pleasure movie, but I like it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I should.
Oh, she's very, very, very good.
I think Thomas really wants our attention on that one.
One of the titles that
Oh.
yes, very good. One of the titles that I've just finished putting together, I think it's the run. I think it's only like 8 issues. She sure did. And part of it's computer generated because there's a lot of stuff, but it still is fun. It's a guilty pleasure, but and the villain is Sharon Stone. And you've never seen the movie, Matt?
The Sharon Stone.
She's the villain in it, and it's this medication. It's this medication, skin cream, and it works really good. But then it changes you, and then it's like rock. And I mean, it's
Yeah,
pretty,
no, I haven't seen that one. No.
No, it's. I think you will enjoy it. But I like the Hanna-Barbera Super TV Hero books because I follow these were all cartoons of my youth. And but 66, 67, so like 12 through 14 kind of thing. But Space Ghost appears in these things too. And so I really do, and I genuinely like, no, it's not one of the worst movies ever. It's just, don't go in figuring that it's going to be a good movie. Just enjoy what they are providing for you. And then they have the guy that was on, one of the cop shows or whatever, the Hispanic fellow, I can't think of his name.
Benjamin Bratt?
Benjamin Bratt, exactly.
Yeah.
And this one here is Blazing Comics number 6, Rural Home.
Benjamin Bratt.
I have a little bit, mine has a slightly higher pitch.
It does.
This was the hotel bell at the Imperial for years and years and years and years and years. And basically you'd use that bell when you have a bellman, then you'd ring the bell for the bellman. That's how it would work. That's when you ring the bell. Then, each time you'd ring it, you'd get another bellman. It was, these things were not that expensive, and it just no one stole it or anything. And then when we finally sold the hotel, I took it with me home because I, had worked the front desk and been a switchboard operator and done all those jobs. It was funny when Yaniv was out here, and he asked me to call him on Monday morning. This last Monday, God, it's only been the Monday. It boggles my mind. But this last Monday, he says, "Well, call me about 8:00." And I woke up early from my alarm because whenever I set an alarm, I always tend to wake up before the alarm goes off. So then what I did was I called, and I just flashed because I used to have to do wake up calls at the hotel, with the PBX machine, the PBX switchboard and stuff. And I call them up, and it was not an automated thing that they have now. You call up and says, "Good morning, it's 7:00," or whatever it is. "Good morning, Mr. Jones, it's 7:00." Thomas. But this one is Rural Home Comic Company. There's no date on it. And what this is they would basically take remainder comics that would come back, and they would wrap a new cover on them. And they wouldn't give you any It says variant interior, which means it could be any of a number of different books on the inside this cover. And he shall remain nameless, Alan, told me that that one of these books there that a guy had the Golden Age first appearance of the Red Hood inside it. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a beautiful book. I don't know. I don't know why, and the back's not bad either. Um, you've heard of the Mark Jeweler things. Well, they had all this jewelry stuff they were doing. It's just that and they got a serviceman there just for a 3-cent stamp, and then you could get this for your girlfriends and stuff. True love and friendship. What year is this? No year. So probably Korea version because looks like to be a World War II cover, but it could be a Korean War cover just as easily. But you got this guy, the turtle. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The turtle is one of Blazing Comics, but this was Blazing Comics a little bit later. Actually, it's number 6. They say no number. It's ridiculous. No date, and they got this number 6. So anyway, I bought this because I just liked the cover. This was on a auction, and I ended up getting it. Because I was getting the Tech 31, I basically put all. Oh, thank you very much, Robbie. I put all my bids way down so I would lose. But three of the books there, I had enough left in them, and then I put a little extra, but just a tiny bit, and I ended up winning 3 that I didn't figure to win, but I'm actually glad I got it. This one is a very bizarre one. This is Blue Bolt, Volume 6, Number 6. This is Novelty Press from December of 45, January of 1946. It has a Tom Gill cover and art, and it's just a bizarre. It's a very, very unusual cover. So you have a guy, looks like a guy in drag, wearing a girl's dress, he had a wig on.
Hi,
He's
Katie.
going, hi, K-pop. And so he's going to be in this school show, and then up is this enormous green, horribly hooded monster that's going to rip this kid to pieces. I'm not entirely sure what the raison d'etre for this is. And down here below, what's this say down here? It says, this stands for honorable service to our country. So there's evidently, you see this down here? This stands for honorable service to our country. See,
Wow.
They got the eagle stuff?
Hi, Wayne.
Volume 6, Number 6. And on the back, we got Speedy Wheeler. Movie star bicycle folder for free. Saves the day and wins a bike.
That's
What kind
hilarious.
of a bike is it? A Schwinn. Wow, a Schwinn. And it has the cantilever frame. Do you see how it kind of sweeps up to the front, where the handlebars go in the front tube, the down tube? You see, that's called a cantilever frame. They call these heavyweight bikes. And they had, back in the late 40s and early 50s, they had these things called Whizzer bicycles. And what it is they would take these heavy frame Schwinn bikes, and they would put a 138cc engine in that space in the middle, and they would have a cutout on the fender and a heavier rear wheel with a drive belt. And then you open up the valve on it, and you close the valve, and you're pedaling along, starts the motor up, and you could probably go 25 or 30 miles an hour on a bicycle with brakes that won't stop you. And I have one of those. And I had it restored because it was in not terrible shape, but I had the original colors on it were green and cream and looked very similar to that. And Schwinn had the front sprocket where they call it a heart sprocket. So there were hearts inside the chain ring of the main crank. And then I put, instead of having a having a fin brake thing, which are these fins in the back that would be friction,
Right.
just didn't stop you for a damn. But I had a Bendix brake put on the back of it. I had Kevlar tires put on it that were the same size. And then I had a front brake assembly from a Black Phantom Schwinn bike put on the front, and I had a spring fork put on the front as well. And so it really, it goes like crazy. It's incredibly dangerous, but they're quite collectible. And of course, I don't like collectible things. So then this one, this has a Bob Powell cover and art. One of the books I traded away was that Skull Shadow cover, if you remember, that
Yes, I do
has
remember that.
and there's England's, it's like London is behind, and then they have this skull with the head open and the lights, there's fires in the eyes,
Yep.
and there are these Oriental criminal guys shooting guns at the shadow coming in to get them. Well, in the interim, I got this one, which is another skull cover.
Nice.
No, it didn't have the shifter. There's only one speed. All it was you had a clutch, you had a throttle, and you had a handbrake, and then coaster brakes, and that's all you had. There was no knob. It was just one speed. Believe me, you wouldn't have won any faster. Had a messenger seat, which is this big one. Chuck Taylor's. When I was growing up, we went to Sears and Penny's. And they had Bob Wolf Converse, which was another basketball player. And I went through Bob Wolf sneakers from about 1961 through 1965, skateboarding, when they had the very first roller derby skateboards that are about this long that had metal wheels, because skates used to have metal wheels on them. And so they would put them onto a board, and that was the very first skateboards that they had. But what happened was that, you're pumping with your right foot and you're braking with your right foot. So I went through like about 4 pair of these shoes. The left shoe, which was on the board, was perfect. I mean, almost with no wear. And the right shoe was sanded flat with the nose torn off. All of these. It didn't take long to have that happen, but it was a lot of fun. Now, I generally don't show girly magazines, but I'll make an exception in your case, Matt. Nothing terrible. This is Nugget Comics. Yeah, the volume and issue numbers. It's like stereo instructions in Russian. I mean, you don't understand what it is. How much is in how many books? Same thing with pulps. It's volume whatever it is, number whatever, and then how many books are in a volume? Is it 6? Is it 8? Is it 10? Is it 12? So, they don't give you a straight, then they put the number of the actual issue on in parentheses beside it to try and figure out. Thank you. This is Nugget Comics, Nugget Magazine. This is Nugget from November of 1955. Now, why in the world would I buy? Why would I buy this book? This girly book? Well,
was it in Alan's cart?
Yes, it was wonderful. And I got him to start crying and everything. I even got one like this. I got a 6.0 as well. Now, and here's the back. This is the back cover. It's innocuous. But the reason I got this, I found out that inside there is Matt Baker art.
Very nice.
And it's
Cool.
Matt Baker drawing women sans clothing. So I think it's about the only nudie, delicious Matt Baker art. Let me see if I can open this up for you. It's not offensive. It's green. I watched Alan's show today, and they were talking about their worst experiences, and they were talking about tape pulls.
Yeah.
Frankly, those guys, the reason why they had a problem with tape pulls is that I figured out when I was 8 that whenever I first got bags, take the tape off.
Yes.
Roll it up and throw it away. They're
Yes.
trying to save the tape to reuse it. I said, you cheap ass, don't you have a roll of Scotch tape? And so by being cheap ass, right? By being cheap ass, What happens? You end up getting a tape pull. It doesn't make any sense. Just get rid of the tape. Don't save the tape. And I've said this to Alan. God knows how many times I've told him this. He does it anyway. He says, "No, it's okay. It's okay. I know. I know how to do it." And I said, "Well, then you're gonna run the risk of tearing your books for the sake of a stupid piece of Scotch tape." Wow. There's nothing. Ooh, who's this? All right. Whoa, that's sort of interesting. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Then they have they have Greek statues of naked women. It's all art.
Of course. Just think, 2,000 years ago, that stuff had really gaudy paint on it.
That's Betty Bosmer.
Wow.
She still has clothes on, but only just. God love her. She's something else. Okay, here we go. Shy Maiden, Shotgun Wedding. Now, here it is. All of this green art is Matt Baker.
Very nice.
Have you ever seen this?
No, I have not.
Isn't that interesting?
It's amazing.
Matt Baker, I think there's one other panel. These weren't terribly expensive at all, but if you're a Matt Baker collector, you'd think that... Where's the other one? There's one more big green one that they had.
Is Alan aware of this book? Because this is the
time. I called him and I said, "Are you familiar with it?" "Oh, I already have that." "Oh, it is?" "Oh, I didn't know that." Or maybe I think I knew it. I could have known it. I probably knew it. He didn't know it. It's just like whatever happens with us. I shouldn't keep pitching on him, but he's pickable. I said, "Alan, what is the first appearance of Max Glotz?" He says, "Max Glotz, I can't remember." "Well, it's in Max Glotz Comics 1. I knew that. I knew that. Yeah, I knew it. I said, "No, you didn't know it till I told you." "Oh, no, I knew it."
Poor guy's not even here to defend himself.
Isn't it lovely? Then I don't hear I have all the caterwauling and what have you. I got one more panel. Here it is. And this one is actually signed Matt Baker. This gal here is it. And then if you look down, you see where it says Matt Baker?
Yes.
Right there by the pink? Matt Baker. Yep. So there is another Matt Baker sans clothing. So that's the whole thing about that. It's got I didn't even know that he did this. So I just wanted to share that with you. Alan will say, "Yes, I knew that. I knew that long ago. I knew that. I already had it. I already paid. I didn't pay as much as you." I keep my doggy I wear a black shirt and my doggy has white fur. And I'm my mother's son. I just can't stand. Matter of fact, my mother came back from San Francisco from a hotel convention with my father. And she had her there is no Matt Baker Jr.
Exactly.
There is no Matt Baker Jr. And so she's got her arms full of sourdough, San Francisco sourdough bread, because we couldn't get it here, and we all love it for toast. You know, it was great. So Mother had her arms full of sourdough bread that she took on the plane, and there was a Navy guy, a Navy officer in front of her in a navy blue suit, and there was this big white piece of fluff on the back of his jacket, and my mother couldn't stand it. So she reached out and she grabbed the piece of fluff. She's wearing leather shoes and it was a little bit wet, and she hit an expansion strip. She hit an expansion strip, and she went up in the air and she came down. And my father said it sounded like a baseball bat hitting a baseball, and she broke her leg.
Aww.
About 2.5 inches, 3 or 4 inches down from her hip. And then she had to have this plate and screws put in because she wanted to get that. She couldn't stand that fluff on this, and it was no good. But but anyway, I just wanted to it's Nugget Comics number, what is it, number 6 or whatever? Let me see, make sure. I thought it was number 1. Nugget Comics number 1, Volume 1, number 1, November 1955.
Very nice. That is a cool find. It's amazing the research, what you can keep finding on every.
There's Miss
Yeah.
Nugget. That's Miss Nugget.
Very
You know what
cute.
Miss Nugget? You know what Miss Nugget looks like right now?
Mm,
She
I would
does
imagine.
not very nuggety anymore.
No, I would think that there's been a little deterioration.
I think there's been somewhat.
Yeah.
So
I-
that's those were the things, but because it's so important, I this wasn't expensive. I got a slabbed copy of Nugget 1 so that I would have this in perpetuity, and then I could have. She looks like she wishes she looked like wishes she looked like olive oil, but she doesn't look like olive oil. Like a lump of
Wow,
coal.
boy, we ever getting dark tonight. All right.
Well, it's dark.
Mhm.
So anyway,
Well,
that's what I had to show.
okay. As I want to be able to hug my kids goodnight before they go to bed, it's a school night. I am now going to reveal the book that I have been waiting on. So I'm going to
Hot
make
dog.
myself big. Okay.
Okay.
Now, one of the reasons I wanted this book is because it is probably the biggest Superman Bronze Age cover that I don't have. I have also read the story on a couple of occasions. Just about everybody I know has this book. There is a person, if she's still in the chat, I probably by saying she's already revealed who has it. Yeah, she's figured it out. Okay, she showed it, and I was like very jealous. So I ended up going on while her stream was still on. I went and looking, and there was none at, but I found it on eBay for only $20, and that was the buy it now price. So I was very excited to get Superman 261, which was number 8 on my top 10 list this year. The Star Sapphire.
What a great one.
Now I am actually can say we're 4 months in, and I've gotten 2 of the 10 that
That's
I
a
had on
great
my list.
cover. Is that Neil Adams or who is that?
This is Nick Cardy.
Schaffenberger? Huh?
No, this is Nick Cardy.
Nick Cardy. Do you know who the Star Sapphire is?
Yes, it's Green Lantern's girlfriend, Carol Ferris.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I remember she went a little mad.
Yes.
We're gonna use the
Like
phrase
not
mad.
not a little, like
Yeah.
totally.
And she created this whole persona as a result. Yeah, I can. For those that don't know, Luke is Celia's husband, and I'm not surprised. And yes, so this is the book that I decided to have the little show about tonight. I was just excited. Anytime you can get a top 10 want list book, I think it's especially for as little, because even in this condition, everywhere I see it, it's at least $50.
Geez, that
So
much,
this
really?
guy really wanted to get rid of it, I'm guessing, to get rid of it in 2020. I mean, there's a tight, there's a little tear here,
Mhm.
and there's a stain up here. Otherwise, it looks pretty good.
It presents beautifully.
Yeah.
What
So
number is that? I'm sorry, what number is that
261.
again?
261.
Okay.
I'm now at the point now where I have Superman right through from this issue to the end of the run. So this is now I have earlier issues of Superman, obviously, but for the run, this is now issue number 1. I need to find 260. But
And what's the last issue number?
oh wait, no, sorry, that's not true. I have 260. Actually, I'm going back. It's in the 250s that I have the run for now. So this is 261 again.
Okay. What's the last number?
1.
No,
Oh, the last
the
number
last
is-
number.
Okay, yes. Sorry. 423. But then they
423.
carried it on as Adventures of Superman, and then eventually it became Superman again. And the final number for the run was 714.
714. Okay, I
Yeah.
knew it was in the 700s. I knew that. I knew that. I knew it was in the 700s. I knew that.
So before we go, I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I want to thank you, Steppo, for coming on
You're
and
welcome.
giving the people. We have an updated board. There's 2 new names on there, Collect06 and TM Nerdy. And the rest, of course, we showed earlier.
You're gonna need a bigger board pretty
It's
quick, my
beginning to
friend.
look like, well, the reason I have the board is until I can figure out how to do that little scrolling thing
Oh
that some
yes,
people do,
yes,
and that way I can play that at the beginning and at the end of each stream.
that's great.
You know, I got to figure out how to do that.
A
Luckily,
talk over scroll.
yes, exactly. So that would be that's what I really want to be able to get to do. I'm learning this piece by piece. So
You're a better man than I, Gunga Din. I don't know any of this jazz.
so thank you everybody very much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Good night, everybody.
See you, everybody.